new visions, new victories. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we're taking public media black.
You ready?
It's the queen of royal badness.
It's time for the Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
Robin's got you covered. Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Robin's got a lot to talk about.
Right back at ya. It's the world's most talented record label, Murder Inc. And that angelic voice you hear in the background, oh, that's our new princess of hip hop and R&B. Yeah, Mr. Shanti.
Boy, you fill me with so much joy. You get whatever it is I need.
Welcome inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580, where we bring you the latest in entertainment news, trending topics, and interviews. I'm your host, Robin Ayers, with you Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. And I can't lie. Part of the best part of my day is watching Andy in there grooving when he puts on these cuts. I'm telling you, Andy is the man. DJ A+ in the building. Okay. All right. Let me go ahead. Welcome all of you. Hello. I appreciate you for checking us out today. Another wonderful conversation because you already know there's always something going on within the entertainment field. There just is. And today is no different. We're going to break it all down for you with our entertainment contributor of the day. And if you want to weigh in, this may be a conversation that you want to weigh in on. And you can feel free to do that by calling us at 1-800-920-1580. You could also join us over in our YouTube chat. It's just a good idea. Our community over there is always popping. So hello to you guys over in our YouTube. I'm sure slowly we're going to start getting on in there. But yeah, go ahead and join in on the YouTube chat. That's KBLA 1580 and KBLA 1580 on all of our social media platforms. You should be doing that by now. You should also be following me at Robin Ayers. I talk back. I don't bite. I'm a good girl. All right, listen, not too much in updates. I actually really want to get to the show. I really, really do. We have a few things that we're going to be talking about. So, Andy, let's just go ahead and drop it.
Now it's time for a breakdown.
Lizzo, oh man, Lizzo, what is going on? I will preface this entire conversation by saying that we've not heard from Lizzo, but who we have heard from are several other people who are claiming some different things, and these allegations aren't, anything to sneeze at. And so we're reading articles, we're reading posts, we're all kinds of things that are going up about Lizzo. We'll break it down and tell you why she is this person who we're hearing about is the complete antithesis of who she has presented herself to be in the media. We're going to break it down for you exactly what's going on, but she is being sued. Lizzo is being sued right now. Again, we will break it down for you and tell you why and what happened, who's pointing fingers. We're also going to be talking about, this one hurts my heart because it's about the kids, LeBron James's school, the I Promise school that's over in Akron, Ohio. I really want to talk about this. I really, really want to talk about this, and we'll tell you what's sort of disappointing over there right now. But you know what? We can't necessarily just start pointing fingers at LeBron James. I'll tell you why they're pointing fingers at LeBron James, though, on the other side. We're also going to talk about, the missing quote unquote. That's her name, Andy. I just got to say, that's how I got to, talk about her. She's the missing woman. We know that she was allegedly missing at one point, but Carly Russell, she has now admitted that all of that was a hoax. But anyway, her boyfriend, or ex-boyfriend rather, he stepped into the chat room, all right? Ex-boyfriend stepped into the chat room. We will tell you why. He is getting a lot of attention right now. It's kind of funny on one hand, but then is it really on the other hand? All right, we'll talk about it and more on the other side, again, with our contributor of the day, who I can't wait to talk to because she's so fantastic. You are listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Eric Bellinger hanging out right here with my family at the Raw Report. Keep it live.
You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to K-Drip, where we play all the best classic water-wasting hits like watering your lawn during the hottest time of the day and leaky faucets. They're tunes from another time because now that we face a hotter, drier future, every drop counts. Despite an extremely wet winter, keep using less water, fixing leaks, and reusing indoor water for your garden. Visit SaveOurWater.com for more ways to conserve. Up next, brushing your teeth with the water on. K-Drip.
Dominique DePrima here. Having a good credit score is one critical step to obtain a loan to buy a home. But did you know that your credit score is just one factor in getting a mortgage loan? Think about this. Lenders also consider your income, your employment history, current monthly debts, the size of the loan, and the amount of your down payment. Whatever your financial goals, U.S. Bank Access Commitment Initiatives support you in reaching them. Access your personal financial goals at usbank.com/access. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles, with an auto warranty about to expire, or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost, month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-381-8528 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-381-8528. That's 800-381-8528. What do you have to lose? Call 800-381-8528. Again, 800-381-8528.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
The rent is too damn high. KBLA joins you in calling for affordable housing. The LA Tenants Union is a diverse, tenant-led movement fighting for the human right to housing for all. The LA Tenants Union demands safe, affordable housing and union rent control. They organize against landlord harassment, mass evictions, and displacement, and mobilize for the repeal of the Ellis Act and Costa-Hawkins Act. The LA Tenants Union is on a mission to strengthen tenants' political power through education, advocacy, and direct action. To get help with your eviction or other landlord-tenant issues, take action for justice, or become a member, visit latenantsunion.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news. You're inside the Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Okay, there is so much to break down here, but I'm not here to do it by myself. I am here to do it with our entertainment contributor of the day, entertainment publicist, Whitley Yates. How are you today, Whitley?
I'm so good, and I'm so excited. We have a lot to talk about.
We do. We have so much to talk about, and I'm glad that you are with us on the Raw Report to do that. Whitley, how do we start? How do we even start, okay, with this Lizzo conversation? It is just, I guess, more so than anything, let me just set the grounds for everyone who may not know what's going on with Lizzo. Lizzo, as we know, is a very popular artist, musician. She is a plus-size woman, very proud to be her size, and she's an advocate of, plus-size women. And she has been speaking her truth and just shaking it all for the world to see for years now. And there has been contention with Lizzo and the public and fans and people who come at her for all the things that she does. And she has been complaining for so long that she has been a victim of body shaming, fat shaming, so to speak, if you will. And she's been speaking up against that. And, she has built a whole tribe around her of people who are like, that's not right. That's not cool. How you doing that to Lizzo? And now the world was shocked because, here we are finding out that today, August 1st, 3 of Lizzo's former dancers have now filed a lawsuit against her, and they're claiming literally that she is creating or fostering an environment that is hostile, that is, they're alleging that she is body shaming her dancers. There have even been sexual abuse allegations. We'll break that down because there are some specifics with that. They're not necessarily towards Lizzo, but just that camp in general, and that it's just been a hostile environment. So we do know that several people have spoken up about this. But first and foremost, you know, Whitley, I got to get your opinion on this. Me personally was shocked because I've been one of those people I was a rider for Lizzo. I was always like, you know, trying to stand up for her, saying we've seen her work out. We've seen her talk about trying to take care of her body more so the public should leave her alone. But to find out that allegedly this could be true where she is body shaming her dancers and people in her own camp, I don't know. That's disappointing. Tell me what you think about that.
I think anyone who names their production company Big Girl, Big Touring, would be someone who wouldn't be body shaming. And so these allegations against her, when she has been a champion of love the skin you're in no matter what size, is really alarming, actually. I think that people are more surprised because she's been such an advocate and a champion. And so to read some of the allegations about how she's making these dancers feel about their weight and some of the members on her team, it just seems incongruent with her brand.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right. We've not heard, again, Lizzo has not put out any statements. This is kind of a hard one to come back from because it's not like we're necessarily just talking about people who are online posting, which has happened, by the way, and I'll get to that in a second. But that's sort of easier, I'll say. When you have people just talking about you, they're just rambling online with their own claims. But this is an actual lawsuit. So I'm sure she's watching her mouth. I'm sure she's watching, you know, with her attorneys figuring out the proper response, her publicist or whomever, you know, you know all about that. So I'm sure there's got to be the right strategy for her to kind of come forth. But this is no easy feat. Okay, so what we know is Ariana Davis, Crystal Williams, and Noel Rodriguez have all made claims that she was being, there was a specific situation where she was claiming or accusing her dancers of drinking alcohol before the performances or before the tour. And they were all like, no, that we didn't do that. This is all alleged. We don't know again, there's always several sides of a story, but this is what they are claiming. They're saying that she put them through a rigorous and actually the word is excruciating 12-hour rehearsal to make them re-audition for their spot. And one was so nervous about losing her job that she had to use the restroom, but she did not go, and she soiled herself because she was afraid of losing her job. So this seems like it can get pretty deep. I don't know what kind of receipts they have. I don't know if they had done, you know, their proper due diligence in making sure that they were taken care of as far as receipts are concerned. But in terms of posting, we do know that Ariana Davis, one of the former dancers, she says that in light, this is a post that she put out on social media. She says, in light of everything that's going on, please remember that this is not an excuse to be fat-phobic, racist, or just plain mean. No matter what happened, please be kind to all parties involved. Thank you. Which is really nice of her. Whitley, don't you think that that's just like a nice little statement to put out, knowing that she has just sued Lizzo, and she's still asking everybody to be kind?
Yes, I also think she's trying to mitigate any countersuits against her, because the way people are dragging Lizzo and her team on Twitter, Black Twitter has taken this to a whole new level. And I think Ariana wants to make sure that her actions don't cause repercussions to where Lizzo has a countersuit for bullying, intimidation, and things of that nature. I do think that it is the right thing to do, a great PR move, but I also think she's attempting to mitigate some legal ramifications that could come later down the line with how people are treating Lizzo based upon her allegations.
Very great point. Very, very great point. Andy, did you have something you wanted to say?
Hurt people hurt people.
Hurt people. I mean, that's the whole bar right there. That's true. I mean, we say that all the time, but if this is true, we'll say it that way. If this is true, this could be a prime example of where that could come out. You know, hurt people who I'm sure she's been hurt with all of the body shaming that's gone on with her. Brandy Reddick actually says, well, rehearsal is long, but you get breaks. You know, according to what this article is stating and what one of the dancers had said, she ultimately was fired when the excuse was that they were cutting down on, they had budget cuts. But she says that she was the only one fired. And again, according to these dancers, it was a rigorous 12-hour rehearsal. They're making it sound as though there were no breaks and that they just had to get to it. And this was almost like Lizzo getting back at them or something like that. That's the way it reads. They didn't say that, but that's sort of the way that it reads. And I'm not sure, but I do know that the former creative director for Lizzo and that team, she also posted on social media. She said, for clarification, I'm not a part of the lawsuit, but this was very much my experience in my time there. She says, big shout out to the dancers who had the courage to bring this to light. There are several people who are coming out saying things. Another one says, echoing what that former creative director said, I haven't been a part of that world for some time. She says for around 3 years for a reason. I very much applaud the dancers' courage to bring this to light. And I grieve the parts of my own experience. She says that she appreciates the space that she wants privacy, and she appreciates the space to figure out her feelings. But when you have several people like this, Whitley, coming forward, it kind of rings true a little bit. And I'm the type of person and even the type of journalist who likes to do so much research before I put anything out there. I just don't want to be a part of any sort of, I'm not salacious. I've always stood on that. I'm only about truth. And so I really sort of split the difference when it comes to stories like this, because I don't want to put anything out there. I don't want to perpetuate any sort of negative or false narratives. But this almost sounds like, when you have multiple people chiming in on this who are not a part of the lawsuit. So they're saying, hey, I'm not going to get anything from this, but this has also been my experience. In your experience, in your professional opinion as well, are you seeing this as these allegations as possibly being true? And how could this be when Lizzo is the prime example? She's the quintessential example of someone who stood for body positivity.
I think that what this does is it provides undue credibility to the stories of those that have filed the lawsuit. So someone else having the same or similar negative experience 3 years apart from someone that has filed the lawsuit, they may not have worked together or even known each other, but can attest to those conditions, the working conditions in which they were in, provides a level of credibility that the allegations could be true. And so I do find it interesting that the previous creative director used the word courage, because that alludes to not having the courage to step up and waiting for someone to forge a path where you then feel comfortable to speak what has happened to you. And I think that we saw that in previous allegation cases, specifically with gymnastics and Simone Biles and how those girls, when one stood up, there were so many others that came forth. They just didn't have the courage. And so usually someone leading the way and taking the onus to file a lawsuit, and then other people saying, well, yeah, that this did kind of happen, it was very similar, is usually a sign of credibility to those that produce the allegations.
That is just so well stated. Fahima Sek, she says, I've heard outlandish claims made against Beyonce by former associates that didn't make it gospel. That part is true, but these are my assumptions. Here's Robin talking. These aren't facts. This is my speculation. Anytime you work for someone who is of that notoriety, right? You know, Beyonce, they consider the queen of entertaining and all that stuff. She runs a tight ship. I don't know. I've not personally heard anybody come forward on Beyonce and how that team has been run. Of course, we've heard about Frank Gatson. He is her creative director. He is no joke. I know that to be true just on a personal level. So people have come out and said certain things about what it's like about working with him. But it also makes it seem as though they run a tight ship and they require long hours, perfection, because anything that Beyonce or anybody like Beyonce, anyone who's willing to do it themselves and put in that type of hard work themselves, they're expecting of everybody else too. With that being said, though, Whitley, I'm not sure if anybody's gonna come out on Beyonce. To be quite honest, I don't know if people got the you know what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if people will want to go head to head with the Beehive like that. Lizzo, I'm like, I don't know. I can see it being true, although it still does take courage. So if in fact this is true, I applaud them as well. I really do.
You know what's interesting? I think when you accept or expect excellence, then you know the level of dedication and perseverance that comes along with that. And I think Beyonce has always been someone who's been a perfectionist, and she wants the best. And so you almost go into that environment expecting that you are going to perform like you've never performed, practice like you've never practiced, and almost grow through the process. And I think that that's actually expected in a lot of performance arts. But some of the details in the allegations were so detailed, specifically when it came to some of the sexual allegations, that's really what caught people off guard. I think the allegations of her, kind of body shaming or her teen body shaming, I honestly think that public opinion could get past that. It was some of the stranger, kinkier things that were alleged in the lawsuit that people are gagging over. And I am flabbergasted at the thought of what I read.
Okay, so maybe this is something you can help break down for everybody. From what I understand or understood about this entire lawsuit, that Shirlene Quigley, who is the dance captain, I believe she's still there. There's nothing that says that she was a former dance captain, but Shirlene Quigley, apparently there were allegations towards her and this sexual assault or sexual abuse is the language. They are also saying that they were not sure that Lizzo was aware of this. Do you understand any of this to be like, do you have a different understanding of this case?
Yes. So there was an event that, I according to the alleged documents in the lawsuit, that the dancers were made to go to. They didn't say that it was optional. And in this, it was like a variety show, a nude variety show, where there were nude performers. And things got out of hand because allegedly Lizzo began inviting cast members to take turns to touch the nude performers and catching dildos from their private parts and eating bananas protruding from the private parts of the performers. And when one of the dancers said, "I'm good," no, allegedly Lizzo began leading a chant and goading Miss Davis, one of the plaintiffs in this allegation, really loud until she got up and performed the act that they were requesting.
Oh, that.
I was like, well, wait a minute. I said, maybe I read, what? Bananas?
Bananas? Oh, my God.
Bananas? In the what?
Come on, Lizzo. Not okay, come on, Lizzo. Not bananas.
Bananas?
This is a wild story right here. This is just wild. Where does Lizzo go from here? This is obviously damaging, very, very damaging. Even if she can come, there's whatever, however this lawsuit settles, right? We don't know what will happen from here, but however it settles, she's not going to be able to dodge the image, this new image that we have of her. Or at least for quite some time. So I'm sure this is going to be damaging to her career. Is there a way for her? You're a very intelligent publicist, attorney. Do you know how you would, if Lizzo is your is your client. How do you help what is the strategy to sort of move around this and navigate this new space?
Yes. As a crisis publicist, what I think Lizzo needs to do and what needs to happen is a statement needs to be released from her and her team. And the statement should not be bashing the allegations, but considering the safety, care, and concern of all of her employees, not only present but past employees, is her first concern. And I think that over time, as more things begin to come out, what her team will need to do is refine her image. And that refining of her image will be after the dust settles from this. A statement is released. They'll probably be in court about 1.5 to 2 years back and forth on this. But then once that clears, whether guilty or innocent, they will need to begin refining her image. It's interesting enough that she has a song talking about that some people had signed NDAs from her and she had to get them off their team. They're going to sue her, and she says, F them. Like, she can no longer make those types of lyrics palatable in her music when she's going through these types of allegations. So there will need to be an entire refinement of her career and the things that she's saying within her songs and her image. But I do believe that she can bounce back. I think we see this in the majority society all the time with different allegations. And, I mean, right now you've got the president's son, right, with all of these allegations. So I definitely think that she can bounce back in the court of public opinion, but it's going to take some massive refining of her image.
I'll tell you what, if I ever get into trouble, I'm calling Whitley. I am calling you. Okay, so listen, the amount of bananas that I see over in the YouTube chat is actually pretty funny. So shout out to all of you bananas. Okay. This is pretty funny. We are going to get to our other topics on the other side because we got to break those down, and I'm actually excited to hear what you have to say about the I Promise LeBron James school as well. And we'll talk about this Carly Russell situation or ex-boyfriend situation on the other side as well. Right now, we've got news, traffic, and sports. You are listening to The Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Lil Real Howery. And right now, you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580. That's right. The Raw Report.
More of The Raw Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. A settlement has been announced in a legal battle over profits from a line of cancer cells derived from a Black Maryland woman more than 70 years ago. These cells have helped develop vaccines for everything from polio to advanced treatment for Parkinson's. The lawyer for the family of Henrietta Lack says they've reached a settlement in their court fight with the biotech giant Thermo Fisher Scientific. And former President Donald Trump is expected to be arraigned Thursday following his indictment for election interference that culminated with the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot. Trump was charged with 4 federal counts, including conspiracy to defraud the United States and conspiracy against the right to vote. African-American Obama-appointed judge Tanya Chutkan has been assigned to the case. And that's the latest. I'm Esther Dillard from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
In Boyle Heights on the 10 westbound before Soto Street, got that wreck blocking the right lane. In Rosemead, 10 eastbound before San Gabriel Boulevard, that earlier stall has been cleared and all lanes have been reopened. Downtown LA, it's a SIG alert on the 101 northbound at Whittier Boulevard. The brush fire there has that off-ramp blocked, and it's still going to be a crawl coming away from the 60. And in Anaheim, 91 eastbound at Tustin Avenue, a crash cleared to the shoulder.
Wendy's is open until midnight or later, which means all your favorite menu items are up later too. The Baconator still tastes just as juicy and bacony at night. So listen to that craving and turn in for the night at a Wendy's drive-thru. Hours may vary at participating U.S. Wendy's.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Rams are a byproduct of the NFL's ongoing efforts to be more diverse in its hiring practices, especially when it comes to black coaches. The NFL started a coaching fellowship in 2022 for select coaches at HBCU schools to spend a summer with NFL teams. KJ Black, a former offensive coordinator at Florida A&M, is now a full-time assistant with the Rams. Black works with the Rams wide receivers. Black was in the Rams fellowship program in 2022. He made such a strong impression that Rams head coach Sean McVay offered him a full-time position. The NFL still has a long way to go with its diversity push. The league has only 3 black head coaches among the 32 teams, but at least assistants like KJ Black have the opportunity to grow and prove they belong on an NFL staff. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
Boldly taking talk radio where it has never gone before. New vistas, new voices, new views, new visions, new victories. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we're taking public media black.
Can you believe it's already back to school season? To get you ready, Chase is holding a family event at its Crenshaw Community Center branch on Wednesday, August 2nd from 4 to 8 p.m. We're giving away backpacks full of school supplies and other goodies to the first 1,000 attendees. There will be activities for the whole family, from financial health workshops to lawn games and crafts for all ages. Chase, we make your back-to-school dreams happen. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Moments like seeing my son's team cheer him on mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminding you that we keep us safe. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family was founded to help address domestic violence and sexual assault in the Asian and the Pacific Islander communities. The Center for the Pacific Asian Family's mission is to build healthy and safe communities by addressing the root causes and consequences of family violence and violence against women. They are committed to meeting the specific cultural and language needs of the Asian and Pacific Islander women and their families. CPAF's vision is of an Asian and Pacific Islander community that embraces healthy relationships and works in partnership with other communities to eradicate all forms of violence. To access services, volunteer, or for more info, visit nurturingchange.org. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe everyone deserves to be safe. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Keeping you informed about what's really going on. Who's got next? And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to the Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Bananas, B-A-N-A-N-A-S. It's bananas, B-A-N-A-N-A-S. This is bananas, B-A-N-A-N-A-S. This is bananas, B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
I'm telling you, welcome back to the Raw Report. There is nobody like Andy. Nobody like Andy. That's for all of y'all in the YouTube chat with the bananas. Oh,
with the banana emoji.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that one took me out. Okay, Andy, I guarantee you, Andy, there is nobody like you. I appreciate you so much. You are inside the Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580, and we are having a discussion about body shaming from Lizzo. Out of all people, it's like, allegedly, all right, let me use the correct terminology here. Allegedly body shaming and fostering an environment that's hostile for her workers and her team and all this. So there's a lawsuit against her right now. And, you know, according to Whitley, our contributor of the day, this could very possibly go on for a year and a half or something, just because are you saying that in terms of it being multiple people, just, you know, several people who have come out with this?
Right. So the three plaintiffs, just imagine how long the depositions are going to take from Lizzo's attorneys and her side, getting depositions on all of these three people. Think about the list of witnesses. I mean, I can just see this playing out for a very long time. And that's actually not necessarily a bad thing for her career, because innocent until proven guilty sometimes, except for in the court of public opinion.
Right.
But it allows her to kind of duck and dodge any type of a verdict for a while. To come up with a strategy.
A strategy. Will Smith did it. I mean,
he
came up with a strategy. He held low. That's exactly what I was saying he should have done, is just to lay low for a second. He did what he needed to do behind closed doors in terms of, like, you know, reaching out to the people whom he hurt. And, you know, maybe that's something that Lizzo, I don't know if they would advise her, if her team would advise her to reach out to certain people, but definitely laying low is not a bad idea, unless she puts out a statement and she's taking some sort of accountability. That might be another thing, but I guess we'll just watch this and see where it goes from here. But I will say off top, as somebody who was definitely an advocate for Lizzo and the plus size community, I was riding for her. So this is a little bit disappointing, but I also understand how things go, so I'm just going to be patient and wait to see how this plays out. But I want to get your thoughts on this LeBron James. Well, okay, let's be clear. It's the his family foundation, I Promise School. The I Promise School that's over in Akron, Ohio. The 8th graders, all of the 8th graders, every single 8th grader has failed the math test over the past 3 years. And obviously this is very discouraging for taxpayers who are putting, you know, their money towards this as well. They want some leeway. I think there are several things that are unfair about this, but one being that LeBron James has his name plastered. That's the first thing you're going to read. It's not I Promise School. It's going to say LeBron James's I Promise School. Number one, I do think that is unfair, but this is also something he signed up for and had to know that if you're going to put your name on something like that, it has to work, especially when you're talking about children in the community. I don't know what your experience is in working with the community and students and education and all that, but this is not good, Willie. This is not good. So how do they come back from this?
You know, so I want to say, I have taught in inner city schools with at-risk youth for 2 years, and I do that as a volunteer through a local nonprofit here. And I understand the impetus and what he's doing. But I really think the media is looking for a way to punish LeBron, because they really don't like a lot of his stances anyway, and that he consistently stands for the community. Because the truth is that middle schoolers' reading and math scores around the United States have plummeted.
Yes.
So I Promise School is not a singular issue. This is happening everywhere. From public to private to charter schools, this is an issue. And picking his out in particular to say, oh, look how terribly your middle schoolers did, is really unfair when everyone's math scores have declined.
Sure.
And that this, according, to the nation's report card, this is something that everyone should be worried about, specifically 13-year-olds.
Sure.
And so I'm sad that this is happening. However, it lets us know exactly where we are as a community and what we should be focused on so that we can get better. It's opportunity for growth for everyone. So I'm disappointed that we haven't seen that growth yet, but I understand when you're focused and faced with at-risk youth who have all of these other social determinants of health that are being impacted, their housing, their food insecurity, whether or not they have a stable home life, and all of these other things specifically for at-risk youth, impacting them, that maybe studying and doing well on this standardized math exam is not the best. I think that what they're going to do is take this as a learning lesson and utilize it to upskill their teachers, to work specifically with their students so that they're not in this position moving forward.
I hope so. You are right that a lot of the math scores have plummeted, especially since COVID. And if we're talking about over a span of 3 years, that makes a lot of sense. My own children, having had started high school online, everybody was virtual right around that time. So a lot of things happened, and this could be a result of that, maybe never having gotten back on track. But I will say, it speaks volumes when you're saying every 8th grader in the school, not the majority, not 80-90% of them have failed. They're saying every single 8th grader has failed the math exam. So yeah, while I do give it a little bit of grace, of course we're talking about nationwide. I do understand that there is a nationwide problem, but there's something a little bit deeper here that I can't put my finger on. I certainly haven't looked into it. And the other thing that I'll say is, over the past 3 years, we've not seen, and this could be to your point though, we've not seen them make such a big deal in the headlines of all the 8th graders failing their math exams. Mm-hmm. So why now, right? And why now? Because you did it 1 year, because that's actually a big deal. If you're, no matter how many years you go, 2019, 2020, if every 8th grader is failing at that point, you would make mention of it because that is a big deal. But how come 3 years later are they just now saying this? So that might be something to your point. But I also hope that it's very sad. Brandy Reddick says that it's sad. It's true. I really, really love what he's doing over there, what they are doing, not just LeBron James. I know that it takes a team, and it takes, their the educators and everybody getting involved. I really hope that they turn it around, for, if nothing else, for the kids' sake, because obviously we want them to all to do well. Deborah Chakoa, she says, given LeBron James's name is behind the school, I would expect more resources would have been allocated to bring up those math scores. Whitley is right. Math and reading have fallen nationwide. Absolutely.
All
agree.
races. All races have plummeted. But I do think the school, when they released their statement, they were very accountable to the community. And they also let people know that they're replacing the principal. So the principal that was there is leaving. So they're bringing in new leadership, and they understand that they have some work to do. Mm-hmm. And so I think that in the grand scheme of where we all need to be, and I think it's so funny when, because he's kind of being attacked right now from a lot of the pundits and media sites about his failing school and all of these different things. But do you know what your children's test scores are?
Come on and preach, somebody. Come
on. Wait a minute. Did your child pass the standardized state testing?
Come on now. Yeah. Such a great point.
You got to sweep your own porch. And I think that this is a wake up for all of us in the community to really step up and start helping children in these areas and do what we can each and every day, whether we have children or not, to make sure that we are helping to mentor and that we are guiding them through their educational journey. Because over the past 3 years, they've been through COVID, which is unprecedented. I mean, we barely survived as adults.
Absolutely.
Through COVID.
Absolutely.
Mentally. So imagine being a child and still having all of the responsibilities of learning placed on you. So I'm going to give him some space and grace to get it together.
We appreciate
that. Scores got to come up.
Yeah, next year we watching. Okay, Andy, what did you
come up?
Yeah, I just want to piggyback off of Miss Yates' comments and just say that, I used to work in the nonprofits, education and all that jazz. And, one of the main issues was parent engagement. And I think, quite frankly, there's a lot of parents that just they send their kids off to school or whatever after school programs as if like they're just babysitters. You know what I'm saying? Education continues in the house. Yeah. And if you have an educator, if you have some sort of teacher reaching out to you and you're a parent, you got to bring your butt to the school because we need your assistance. Quite frankly, you know what I'm saying? Especially during the pandemic.
Yeah.
The role of the parent was crucial. And the fact that, you know what I'm saying, you just send your kid off to school just thinking like we babysitting your kids. No, man, education continues at the house. So y'all got to be a little bit more engaged.
Andy, go on and give yourself an applause. Give yourself an applause, brother. Go on ahead and give it.
He said,
"Yeah, Andy's
accountability is contact."
Okay, I mean that's pure facts right there. And let's not.
But what happens when the parents don't know? When they can't help you with your math homework because they don't understand it themselves?
There's so many layers to this. There's so many layers because where are the resources? Yeah, where are the resources to go towards tutoring? Where are the resources to go towards therapy? Since these kids, because you mentioned something, Whitley, these kids are, they've gone through COVID. We're expecting them to start virtually online. I know they're back in schools now, but in the interim, they were going through mental health issues. A lot of these kids suffered in that way. So, of course, if you're not knowing how to handle that, other things are gonna be affected. So it's so multi-layered here. But I guess the overall sentiment is that we all hope that they get their act together, that they turn it around, and like Whitley said, we're gonna be looking next year. All right, so we give them a little bit of grace right now. We're gonna be looking next year. I need to get before we let you go, I have to get your thoughts on this entire situation with Tomar Simmons. Tomar Simmons, who is Carly Russell's ex-boyfriend. And we know Carly Russell to be the missing woman who was in Birmingham, Alabama. And he is scheduled and signed an appearance to make an appearance at an Atlanta club. I'm sorry. I'm not making light of the situation, but I mean, here's the thing. Is it too soon? They said basically now he's missing love. They want to try to help him find love. Is this a good opportunity to leverage your recent situation with your ex-girlfriend, or is it just too soon and you're doing too much, Tomar Simmons?
It's team too much. It's team too much, team too soon. She just got released on bail. She hasn't even been out for 72 hours, and you're already capitalizing. We are still hurt. The prayer groups are still meeting about Carly. Okay, the hoax hasn't settled. The dust hasn't settled from the hoax yet, and he is already capitalizing, trying to make a coin and doing some flavor of love type situation. I think it's too soon. I think it's too much, and the fact that this specific hoax predicated on Black missing women, which is a real issue, is, I believe, something that should not be exploited at all.
Yes. Well, there was a woman who works at that particular club, and she was just dumbfounded. Like, you got to be kidding me. This can't be true. And she saw a flyer of him on that he was going to make an appearance at her club, and she reached out to the supervisor and said, is this true? And sure enough, he is coming there. And I think for many people, he is making too light of the situation too soon. So I definitely agree with you on that. Yeah, Pretty Brown Mimi, she says Tomar Simmons is looking for his 15 minutes of fame. That's another angle.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Brandy Renee says, boy, stop. Yes. Penny Thompson says, Whitley, yes, way too much too soon. We agree with you, Whitley. We love having you here at the Rob Report. I truly, truly appreciate you stopping through and enlightening us with all your knowledge, your wisdom. And like I said, if I'm ever in trouble, I'm calling you because you know what to do.
Thank you guys so much.
Let everybody know where they can find you online.
All right, you can find me on Instagram, Whitley J. Yates. You can find me on Twitter at Whitley J. Yates. And you can find me on Facebook, Win James. It's been a pleasure. I will see you guys next time.
Absolutely. Take care. Enjoy your night. Okay, when we come forward, that was really a great conversation. When we come forward, we will have your Who's Got Next. I'm actually excited to bring this one to you guys, as well as What Not to Miss. On the other side, you are listening to KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
Hey, I'm Damian Young. I'm chilling with Robin on the Rob Report.
You're inside the Rob Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts, hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, and downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Get the tools to help reach your financial goals. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 85% water, right?
85% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Ooh, pass me the intercom thingy.
Attention shoppers. If you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Don't pay for water. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods.
Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action is the youth component of the impactful CBO, known as the Community Coalition. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action has chapters at almost every South LA high school. Say Yeah, as they are popularly known, is located at 80th and Vermont, but serves young people all over South LA. Under the COCO umbrella, they train youth organizers, help underserved scholars prepare for college, and work with students to help them gain admission to top universities. South Central Youth Empowered Through Action fosters teen activism, where young people have led campaigns moving tens of millions of dollars to South LA schools and forcing officials to make AP classes available to students in under-resourced institutions. SCEL scholars have taken part in the March on Washington, been published in major news outlets, and been elected to city council. Long before she was mayor, Karen Bass started the program when she founded the Community Coalition. To donate, volunteer, or enroll a student in South Central Youth Empowered Through Action, please visit cocsouthla.org. cocsouthla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news. You're inside the Rob Report. With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
All right. You know, I'm always looking for something a little bit different to bring to the Raw Report for your Who Got Next. And this one actually kind of took me by surprise. I think it's very powerful. Her message is powerful more than anything. So I want you guys to take a listen. This is Melanie, Charles, and Marlena Shaw, called Woman of the Ghetto.
I was born and raised in the ghetto. I was born and raised in the ghetto. I am a woman of the ghetto. Listen to me, legislator. How do you raise your kids in the ghetto? How do you raise your kids in the ghetto? Feed one child and starve another. Tell me, legislator. How do you make your bread in the ghetto? How do you make your bread in the ghetto? Baked from the souls of the dead in the ghetto. Tell me, legislator. Brave, free
ghetto. Okay, Melanie Charles. Definitely a funky vibe. Just when I listen to music like this, honestly, it just makes me feel like summertime, watching a concert under the stars. It just feels really, really good. And, I like that type of vibe. So hopefully you guys can rock with that as well. Your what not to miss. There's several things that are coming up that I just absolutely don't want you to miss. But this Saturday, August 5th, there's a tribute to Art Laboe presented by Dub Lab. You can get some more information if you want to go to grandperformances.org. Of course, this is happening in LA. I'm so sorry for you East Coasters and your Midwesterners. But definitely something that you will want to check out. This is happening on Grand Avenue right here in LA. Again, it's a tribute to Art Laboe. So if you know anything about Art Laboe, you would love this. So definitely check that out. You can go to grandperformances.org to get more information. It's something that you should just do. Talking about performances and live and under the stars and sexy nights and summer nights and all that stuff. Go ahead and check it out. And remember that if you have someone that you'd like for me to listen to for your Who's Got Next or what not to miss, feel free. Go ahead and send me that information. I always appreciate that. I appreciate Whitley Yates for joining me on the Rob Report today. She is always fantastic. Thank you guys for the interaction and the likes on the videos and the engagement and all that good stuff. Listen, when we come forward, you already know it's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, and he's talking about something good. He always is. What falls within your sphere of control? Exploring the intriguing desire to influence a significant other. Okay, Zoe. I'm Robin Ayers, and remember today and every day forward to be a blessing.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Many leaders with the Memphis-Shelby County Schools say they've been shocked to learn that the number of homeless students in the district has more than doubled in the last year. The school district reports this week that nearly 3,000 students are facing homelessness as the new school year gets underway August 7th. This is